Hey sports bettors, how's it going? Matt here with OddsJam. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is giving out some good DFS picks specifically on Underdog fantasy. So I'm going to look at Underdog, I'm going to play their pick'em game and their higher and lower, and I'm going to give you some awesome plays to add to an Underdog selection. The way I'm going about finding these plays is just using OddsJam to identify awesome plays to put into a prize picks entry. There are a couple different avenues in which you can use OddsJam to find these awesome plays. The first one that I wanted to talk about is actually completely free. It's the OddsJam screen. So if you go to oddsjam.com, you go to screen, you can filter by, or you can just look for the sport here, or you can look for the market here. And the goal of this and what the OddsJam screen does is it shows you where every single sportsbook prices a certain prop for multiple games. So for Monday Night Football tonight, obviously there's only two. But if you go to the NBA, we see a bunch of different plays here, right? And this is just for one market. This is just for player points. And you can do this for completely free, which is awesome. So the play that I have identified as a good play to add to an Underdog fantasy, pick'em, higher, lower, whatever you want to call it, this Justin Fields under 164.5 passing yards. Look at every other book and what they price his passing yardage prop at. 160, 156, which is just insane. 160, 161, 161, and then 160 across the board. Every sportsbook that is giving you odds, for Justin Fields passing yards has it 3 to 4 to 9, 8 yards lower than what Underdog is giving you at 164.5. So using the OddsJam screen, you can identify outliers across the sportsbooks and take advantage of the ones that are mispriced. In this case, we are specifically looking at Underdog, and this tool is a great way to use to find profitable plays for Underdog, for prize picks, whatever. And actually, we see one sportsbook, and this just highlights how cool this tool is, just changed to 159.5. So even lower than what they had it before, basically saying people are putting more money on Justin Fields under passing yards. And again, this is just such a good price. So this is going to be the first one that I'm going to add, Justin Fields under 164.5 passing yards. The next one is the next quarterback in the same game, also taking his under passing yards. And the logic is the exact same. It's not as big of an outlier as the Justin Fields one, but it still is pretty good. 216.5 on Underdog. Pinnacle has this at 216 as well, and they heavily favor the under 216 at this number, right? They have the 216.5. They have the over priced at plus 102, the under priced at minus 134. Heavily favoring the under. Every other book, PrizePicks has it at 215. FoxBet 210. FanDuel also has it at 210. And then we see other books, 214, 215. Same logic here. Every single sportsbook is telling you this should go under 216.5, which is exactly what you can get it at Underdog. So this is going to be the second one that I'm adding, Mac Jones under 216.5 passing yards. The next play, and this is going to be an NBA one, we're looking at the player point total, and we are backing Joel Embiid to go over 29.5 points. So if we're looking at the OddsJam screen here, most books have it at around 29.5, except you see BetOnline right here. BetOnline is a sharp sportsbook that does a good job pricing odds. They think that Embiid's point total should be priced at 1 point higher. And, 1 point is a much bigger deal than 1 yard because of how low the numbers are. Going from 29 to 30 is like a 3 to 5% difference, where going from 216 to 215 is like a 0.5% difference. It's still valuable and it's still good to take advantage of those differences, but 1 point is just more valuable than 1 passing yard is all. And same thing, Pinnacle has it at 29.5, but they favor the over at this number, having the over as the more likely scenario. So getting Joel Embiid to go over 29.5 points, I think is a good play. So this is going to be the third one that I'm going to add. I'm going to take a Joel Embiid over 29.5 points. In the last two, I found using OddsJam, using their positive expected value page. So this is really cool because it takes away all of the work necessary. You literally just go to oddsjam.com, you go to positive expected value, you filter specifically for the book you're looking for. So Underdog Fantasy 5-pick. The reasons why they're on here twice is just because the payouts are different for depending on how many legs you put in on an underdog play. And you get the highest payout on a 5-pick one, obviously. So the implied odds of a 5-pick one are going to be much better. But if you use OddsJam, you can just filter specifically for underdog and take plays that are on here. So we have one NBA one where we're looking at is Marcus Smart under 5.5 assists. So the implied odds of an Underdog Fantasy 5-pick is -122. And look across the board where other sportsbooks price it. Pinnacle in the -150s, -152. BetOnline, -145. DraftKings, -150. All of these sportsbooks, even like FanDuel, which has it a little bit closer, still has it at a full 8 cents higher than the implied odds of Underdog. So this is another great one. Marcus Smart under 5.5 assists. So let me go ahead and search for Marcus Smart, take his under 5.5 assists as my 4th play. In the last one, we're looking at a hockey play. Mark Scheffler, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, under 2.5 shots on goal. Same logic here, -122 implied odds. Pinnacle, -153. BetOnline, -137. DraftKings, -140. And then we see like Bet Rivers all the way in the -160s. All of these sports books that price it have him as significantly more likely to go under this number. And then, the cool thing about using Underdog, using Prize Picks, is they have the same exact odds no matter what the play is. So you want to just find the most likely place to hit and add them into a selection. So here are the 5 that I have for tonight. Justin Fields under 164.5 passing yards. Mac Jones under 216.5 passing yards. Joel Embiid over 29.5 points. Marcus Smart under 5.5 assists. And Mark, I'm just going to say his first name, not butcher his last name, lower than 2.5 shots. And that's it. So if you're tailing this Underdog selection, let me know. I'd love to hear it. Other than that, I appreciate you guys watching. Enjoy the sports betting slate tonight and have a good one.